Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening? It's your man, it's your boy, Doc Holiday. We are back again for another HBCU tonight on a Sunday. But you already know it's always powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share, but most of all, subscribe to the channel. And go ahead and get everything that you need, HBCU Overdrive. Woo! We are here. It is Sunday, May 17th. May 17th. We are almost done with the month of May. Here. Woo! Really not enough to anything. We pretty much got some baseball going on. Got basketball probably going into the NBA finals for next month. But other than that, man, we are just living. We are living the life, living the dream. But other than that, man, I just want to say appreciate everybody. Just appreciate everybody for being here with just being here with us and having trying to celebrate, some milestones and everything like that. But first and foremost, I am, because it's one of those streaming platforms where I don't think you don't get bang for your buck with the streaming platform. All right. Talking about rain for tomorrow. But hold on. But next week, this week, in fact, Friday, on Friday, we'll be celebrating 4 years. Media entity. And what no other way to do it than to actually have a show to celebrate. I don't know if we're going to have balloons or cake or anything else, but we are going to be here to celebrate 4 years of being in the media. And I am going to hold on. You know what? I'm switch out my camera. right, that's better. That is better. Good evening. Good evening. We are here. We are back on. We are back on StreamYard. We are back on StreamYard. But other than that, man, look, we gonna go ahead and get this rundown going. But we're gonna get the rundown of what's been going on with in the world of HBCU sports, and then we'll get on to our main topic, which I kind of was supposed to did last week, but hey, kind of busy. We had we was getting for work, getting ready for inventory, and I do not like doing inventory. It is irritating. It's worrisome. It's one of those things where I just do not like doing inventory. I do not like counting and then waiting on for the numbers to come out to see if you have low shrink or high shrink. How much you done made and how much you done missed. Yeah, I don't like that. Just let me deal with let me deal with let me deal with just doing just the business side. That y'all can have that side. That's all I got to say. Hey, we gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. That'll be our main topic of the discussion. But before we get into our rundown, man, let me just go ahead and run this commercial right here. Be right back in just a minute. It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. All right, we are back. Woo! I ain't run no commercial in a minute, so I just feel good doing it. Just feel good doing that. But anyway, first and foremost, on tonight for tonight's show, want to give do a remembrance for the late Charlie Neal, who passed away early last week, at the age of 81. And basically, Charlie Neal is, to me, be honest with you, is the voice of HBCU football. He is, to me, he is the voice of HBCU football. You get on BT and this, that, and the third, but the first person's voice, the first voice that you hear would be Charlie Neal. And it's going to be one of those times where It's gonna be one of those. This is gonna be one of these seasons where, in the broadcast world, hearts are gonna be heavy, and in Black college sports world, hearts are gonna be heavy, but gonna be full because the man was a legend. I can't really say, to me, I just really can't say anything bad about him because he was a legend in his own right. And especially got to see him now more on HBCU Go, where he was on play-by-play calling, especially seeing, him being in the vet or he made some stops in Gorman and of course in Grambling and Dallas and just pretty much everywhere. It's going to be hard not to hear that voice again, especially watching, because it's almost like, in a sense, when it came like in baseball, when baseball lost Harry Carey as a broadcaster, a play-by-play broadcaster to be exact. Of course, he was with the Chicago Cubs. Listen to Vince Scully with the Dodgers and of course with the Bucks, with St. Louis with the Cardinals. It's kind of hard to hear that now. We won't even hear, like, you won't get to hear Charlie Neal with that resounding bass, and the voice deflection, and he was everything that in one day I wanted to try to be like. And of course, I have my own, I won't say downfall, but have some I wouldn't even call it ailments. I call it a roadblock. Let me call it a roadblock. But that doesn't stop me from doing what I wanted to do and how my voice is and wanting to talk sports and just deliver, be on here and deliver a whole show and just be here to entertain and to entertain and inform, or inform and entertain. Either one is part of the reason why I do this, and the reason why he did it, because a lot of Black people didn't have a voice when it came to us. So I'm glad that I got to meet him. During my time, during the time that he was still here, especially at Media Day. And it's going to be a little somber when basically Media Day rolls around in July. Yes, sir, Mr. Ford. I got you. And yeah, man, look, if you really, really, really want to go back and listen to his voice, man, go to Alex Hines' page on YouTube, and like he got all the videos. All videos. When I say all of them, all of them. Mr. Ford, how you doing?
Hey man, how you feeling?
Um, I'm here. I'm here. I got back into church, so
Oh yeah.
but I'm here. I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, I was listening to what you said. You're absolutely correct. One of the things that each conference need to do is if we could put a patch on those teams' uniforms this season, football, basketball, because this guy gave us almost 50 years, man, of service. I never met Charlie, even though I'm a big fan of his. My sister met him and his wife, and he touched a lot of people, man. I've been listening to Charlie Neal. Shoot, I think since BT came, whenever they came on, 80, 81 or whatever they came on, that's how long I've been listening to
Yeah.
Charlie Neal, man. Like you said, I remember when he would be in the bed. The game I never forget was about 88 or 89. Jackson State played Southern University at the vet, and it was homecoming. It was about 50. It might have been 60,000 people in there, man. And he and Lim Barney called the game. At the time, Jackson was totally dominating the SWAC, right? They was just beat everybody down. Southern won the game. Southern had a quarterback named Nate Harrison, man. And I knew about Nate when I was getting ready to leave Grambling. That was a big push at Grambling to get Nate to come to Grambling because I was a student assistant for Eddie Robinson Jr. And he told me, he said, really, soccer might be Nate's best sport. I said, for real? He said, yeah, soccer might be his best sport. But, a few years later, I saw Nate in that game. But he was, when I was at Grambling, when I was a student at Grambling, Nate was in high school. But that was one of the biggest. I have tried to pull that game back up, and I hadn't been able. It had to be either 88 or 89. It was Jackson State's homecoming. And it was a Saturday night game. And it had to be about 55, 60,000 people in the vet, man. And they called the game, and it was live. It was because when Charlie and Lim and BT initially started, the games were taped delayed. They weren't live. They were taped delayed. But that game was live. But like I said, I'd have to go back and look and see if that game was 88 or 89. I'm leaning toward it was 89. It might have been 89. But I'll never forget that game, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of strange not hearing his voice.
Like you said, yeah, like you said, they need to do something, go big at that SWAC Media Day, man. Like I said, this guy gave us 50 years of service, man. At least, almost close to 50. This guy here was one of the staples of HBCU sports, man. I used to listen to him do football, SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC. Then he'd turn around and do basketball. He'd do the CIAA tournament, the MEAC tournament, CIAA. Listen, this guy did it all, man. This is the mighty tree has fallen, bro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. On a lighter note, Bethune-Cookman wins the regular season in baseball.
Oh yeah.
With a resounding 12-1 victory over Grambling. which
Yeah, I heard they beat us up
pretty
all this
much
weekend.
that
Did we win any games in the series?
No.
Okay, because I heard they beat us up 20. Didn't they put 23 on us one day?
The 23 on you on Friday night.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And then Mr. Mona told me that we next to last in the Commissioner's Cup, man. We can't do that at Grambling, bro. We can't do that now. Yeah, we gotta do better than that.
Yeah, so Bethune-Cookman wins the SWAC baseball title. Second place goes to Florida A&M. Third place second place was Southern. Third place was FAMU. Fourth, I think it was Alabama State. Fifth was Texas Southern. Sixth, trying to see who was sixth. I know Jackson State ended up being seventh, being in seventh place, and then last in eighth place. Eighth place, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama A&M.
So how all the teams going to the baseball tournament?
So they're only taking the top 8 teams to the tournament.
Oh, okay. So they're taking top 8. Okay. All right. So who didn't make it?
I think let's see, Mississippi A&M. Yeah, that's who did not make it.
Okay, I heard Mississippi Valley. Who else didn't make it? I said Valley. Now give me the other 3.
Prairie View.
Oh, Prairie View didn't make it?
No, Prairie View ended up with a 14-36 record.
Ooh.
I think Grambling made it. They made it off. I
heard you say
made it off technicality, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. I heard you say Alcorn didn't make it, right?
Alcorn didn't make it. Prairie View, Mississippi Valley, and Alabama A&M, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Brandon. Hey, Lady T. Listen, now you know that's not going. They're gonna make some changes down there at Prairie View. You know that now. That guy right there, what was AD Golf? He's not gonna stand for that, man. You know that now. Yeah, they're gonna make some changes, bro. Now I don't know what they're gonna do at Alabama A&M if they got a commitment to baseball. But to be honest with you, that's pitiful. That's horrible that Alabama A&M is not going to that tournament because they got money. Alabama A&M's got money. They got commitment. They got an athletic director. Yeah, hopefully they make a change too, because Prairie View has got money. Alabama A&M's got money. They should be doing better than that in baseball.
Word on the street was that PV and A&M had a.
Oh, they had first year coaches. Oh, yeah. Okay. They have first year coaches. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations. You said Bethune-Cookman won the whole thing, right?
Bethune-Cookman won. Yeah, they won the regular season. They will start off the SWAC tournament on Wednesday as the number 1 seed overall in the tournament.
You know, we had this question came up at school last week about Bethune-Cookman's football team, and I'm gonna be honest with you. We were saying that we think they would be better than last year, worse than last year. I'm going with worse. I'm going with worse. I got to see them. Right now, I'm thinking that Bethune-Cookman's football team is not going to meet the standard that they put up on the board last year. What you think?
I think. that's one of the things I really want to talk about when we get to the main topic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So baseball, like I said, it'll be number 1 seed will be Bethune-Cookman, number 2 seed will be Southern, and the number 3 seed will be FAMU, and the number 4 seed will be Alabama State. Grambling is at number 5, Texas Southern is at 6, Jackson State is at 7, and Pine Bluff is at 8.
Now listen, Doc, y'all need to give Southern some kind of award, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought they probably would get rid of Southern's coach this year, and they turned it on, man. So he got to get some kind of award.
Yeah. So game one would be number 3 FAMU versus number 6 Texas Southern. That starts at 9:00 in the morning.
Okay.
Game 2 would be Alabama State versus Grambling State, and that's at noon. Game 3 would be Southern versus Jackson State. That's at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And game 4 would be Bethune-Cookman taking on Pine Bluff, and that's at 6 p.m. All games will be from Rickwood Field in Birmingham, the historic Rickwood Field. So, and the game will be on SWAC TV. So, that is another thing. That's another winner for us right there. If you lose the first game, you go into that losers bracket, and it's hard to get yourself out of the losers bracket. It is hard because that means that you have to win two. You have to win 2 extra games to get yourself back up into the winning side. I would say this as far as when it comes to Omar. I've already said it. I think even though, yes, this is his 20th, almost like 20th 20-win season at Jackson State.
They won 20 games this year?
Yeah, we won 26.
And how many you lost?
Our pitching was horrible. It's really just our pitching. Hitting was everything. Hitting, I think our hitting, we were tops in the conference in hitting. Either number 1 or probably in the top 5 in hitting, in all hitting categories. But our pitching was horrendous.
What was your conference record?
Conference record was 16-14.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't so here's my thing, we couldn't like close games out. Or let's say we get a lead and we couldn't hold the lead, bringing in middle relievers that's supposed to be closers, or bringing in not pitching your day one starters.
Y'all a young team? Are y'all a young? The baseball team was young.
I think the pitching wise, we young.
Okay.
I think pitching we are young. Offensively, we are pretty much good offensively.
Right. Now your pitchers were freshmen or were they junior college players?
That's the thing. I don't even know what Omar was recruiting out there. I don't know what he was recruiting out there. I just know that it was certain games where our pitching could not keep us in the games.
Oh yeah.
And then too, we did not win a lot of series this season. It said was, I think this Jeremiah, I think because Jeremiah is always on the baseball side. He said that we only won one good team, a series against one good team. That was Pine Bluff, which I think that was this past weekend.
Oh, okay. You play Pine Bluff this weekend.
Yeah.
Now Pine Bluff made it to the tournament, right?
Pine Bluff made it as the last seed, number 8.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mm. What's up, Quay? So to me, starting out baseball, tournament, breeze through. And I'm gonna be honest with you, unless you can get ahead of Bethune-Cookman, I don't see anybody winning against them. I don't see nobody beating them in this tournament.
You don't think Fam can get them? Or Southern?
Fam going up against Bethune and Southern going up against Bethune this past season. Nah, no.
Oh, okay.
Now I think when they played Southern, it was more close than what you would think. Well, they played Fam. They try to give. They put belt the ass on FAMU.
Oh, so Fam didn't beat them at all this year?
Well, I think they got a couple of games in the series, but not. I don't think they won a series.
Oh, okay. I mean, they got an outstanding program. Bethune has an outstanding program. I mean, I don't know if you'll call it a dynasty or whatever, but they've been good in baseball for a number of years.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't call them I mean, they are a great baseball program, and what Coach Shenanigans has done since he got there, he's done a remarkable job. We got a chance to interview him a couple of weeks ago after they had beat who was that? Was it Florida? Yeah, after they had beat Florida.
Right. I remember when they beat Florida. Yeah, I remember that. That was a big win, man.
That was a big win.
Yeah. Now Florida's nationally ranked, don't they? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a big win.
Yeah, and they beat LSU a couple of weeks earlier than that.
Yes, that's David against Goliath, bro. Yeah.
But other than that, man, we can go ahead and see what's up. I think FAMU ended their season in the softball, softball regional. They was in the Gainesville regional against Florida, and I think they had Stetson, and it was somebody else over there.
That was this weekend.
That was was it last weekend or this past weekend? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So softball is pretty much over with. Track and field, outdoor track and field. Shout out to Jackson State men's track team for winning an outdoor track and field championship this past week. Hey, I didn't know we had some dudes like that. I did not know that Jared Lockhart was that guy throwing the javelin. I did not know we had runners like that. They kind of came as a surprise to me.
Now, who's your head coach for your track and field?
Mark Thorne is our head coach.
That's right, Mark Thorne. That's right. Mr. Bonner did tell me that. Okay. Now, how long has he been at Jackson?
It gotta be more. I know it gotta be more, at least 10 years or so.
Oh, okay. Is he a Jackson grad?
Somebody fact check me.
He's a Jackson grad.
I don't know if he's a Jackson grad. That's one thing I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. Of course, because y'all, I've been out a whole week. I ain't streamed nothing. We've been getting ready for inventory at work, and they getting on my damn nerves.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay, so he is a.
Yes, I saw Miss Brandy said he is a Jackson grad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But oh my goodness, what else we got? What else happened this week?
So
Other
much
than
happened, bro. Shit, the Chinese spanked Trump's ass and sent him back to America. Humiliated him and sent him on back.
Oh Lord.
So much happened this week.
I don't want to wake up to that. Oh my goodness. We did lose a Titan in pretty much sports on both sides, like two Titans in sports, and they both yes, even though I have an Astros jersey on, I am an Atlanta Braves fan. And losing Ted Turner, who basically built Atlanta from nothing.
Yes, he did, bro.
And
Bobby Cox
losing the battle. Like Bobby Cox has he has the most wins in Major League Baseball as a manager, or he's up there.
Between Blue Jays and Braves, he had a lot of wins.
Yeah, he did.
And also,
how you doing, Mr.
number
Ford?
one for me thrown out of the game.
Man, doing just fine. Celebrating my parents' 51st anniversary. We were at church today. They celebrated them at church. Yes.
So they got married with 70, was it
75?
75. Okay. Yeah,
same year I was born. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Listen,
in 1975, that was Earth, Wind, and Fire had a song called what's the world?
That's the Way of the World?
That's the Way of the World. That's right. And then Patti LaBelle and they had a song called Mama Lord.
Lady Mama Lord. That was
Lady Mama Lord. Yeah. All that came out in 75.
Yeah. Alan Toussaint.
Stevie Wonder had a big song out in 75.
Isn't She Lovely?
There you go.
Yeah, see, his daughter's along in age with me. That was about his daughter. Yeah, she's along in age with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we lost Bobby Cox. Just got somebody say Jeremiah said we lost Garrett Anderson a few days ago.
Yeah, we did. That's right. That's the California Angels, right?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, I did hear that, Garrett. He was California Angels.
Yeah,
right?
Garrett. Yeah, he passed.
Yeah,
I remember him on that championship team.
Yeah, I remember him.
That's one player. He was quiet, but it was like
Mike Socha was the manager. Yeah,
Mike Socha was the manager.
He's an old Dodger.
Watching him, it's like
former Dodger.
Former Dodger.
I couldn't watch him. At one point in time, I was a Rangers fan, and this is before they disrespected Nolan Ryan when he came back.
As a player, as a president.
At one point in time, I was. You know what? It's one of them players. Like I did not want to see him. I did not want to see him because you could throw anything at him, and he was trying to hit it all out the ballpark.
Now, who was that, Doc?
Garrett Anderson.
Oh yeah, Garrett Anderson. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it said something about Clarence Carter passing away last.
Clarence Carter passed. Yeah, 90 years old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, simple waves, stroking.
Yeah.
Patches.
Patches was big.
Hey, Run DMC sample, Christmas in Hollis. They sample Backdoor Santa. That was done in '68. Yeah.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da,
Practice
that
was
horn
either
sound. Yeah.
69 or 70. I think
Yeah.
70.
68. It
68
was in
or
the late
70. Yeah.
60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Backdoor Santa. That's who Run DMC sample on Christmas in Hollis. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
definitely remember Clarence Carter.
I saw him in person at 1995 New Orleans Jazz Fest. I got a
Yeah.
chance to see him and Chuck Berry, Ray Charles, and all. They were
Yeah.
all there in '95.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get into our main topic. And I said this, I kind of thought about this last week. I was going to do this last week. I was trying to do a lot of things, and then we had inventory, and I had to make sure I was straight when I got paid and stuff like that. But so last week, and I did catch the show. I was listening to it last week. Lionel had a show on his channel on TV versus Everybody, and he had his HBCU top 10 rankings. So of course, looking at the rankings, he had South Carolina State at number 1. At number 2, he had Prairie View at number 2. Number 3, he had Alabama State, and at number 4, he had Jackson State. Number 5, North Carolina Central. Number 6,
Central.
Yeah, he had Central at number 5. Number 6, he had Alcorn. Number 7, he had, was it Grambling? I know number 10 was FAMU. Number 9 was Alabama A&M. Number 8 was he had Alabama A&M at number 8. He had Grambling at number 7. Number 9 was what did I say? Who's number 9?
You didn't say FAM at Alabama A&M, did you?
Oh, he had FAM at number 10, Alabama A&M at number 9, Grambling at number 8, Howard at number 7. There we go. I just
he had Howard at number 7?
Yeah, Howard at number 7.
Okay.
You think Ted Weiss will make some noise his first season? Yeah, that's what he's.
That's what I'm waiting to see. Well, he'll be here 0 week in Atlanta for the SWAC MEAC.
They playing who are they playing?
Alabama A&M. We'll see them.
A&M.
Yeah, we'll see them.
So I had it's about to rain out here. I just hear
it's hot. It's been 80 degrees here. 80 some degrees here.
Yeah, it's been hot here. So I have some takes on this. Of course, at number 1, yes, I will put South Carolina State at number 1 because they did win the Celebration Bowl. The only thing about it is who do they got coming back as their quarterback? I think they lost.
That's it. Yeah.
Who comes back as their quarterback? I think they. Hold on now.
Boyd Brown graduated.
I do not stay in Parker County. I am not in Aledo. I'm in Irving, Dallas County.
You talking about Aledo,
Texas? I'm down the road from the Potter's house. Let's put it just like that.
Okay. Aledo, there's a guy from my area who I know of that lives in Aledo. He's from not far from me in Shudron, Louisiana. He now lives in Aledo, Texas.
None out there. But no. But I give him South Carolina State at number 1. Now, this is where I kind of have to pump brakes because put Prairie View at number 2, of course, because yes, you're the runner-ups for, in the Celebration Bowl. But here's the thing. For those losses that they had, I think it was 2 games by a possession or less.
Now this was who was that?
Prairie
That
View. This is Prairie
oh
View.
yeah, Prairie View. Okay.
Because who did they lose to? I know Texas, Rio
Alabama
Grande
State.
Valley.
I know Alabama State beat them.
Alabama State. Yeah,
Yeah, Alabama
that's who.
State beat them by.
I
They beat
knew it
them
was
by
one of the swag teams.
one. Yeah, they beat them by one possession. They lost to South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl by 1 possession in the 4 overtimes.
Yeah.
UTRGV pretty much spanked them. And the 4th one, who was the 4th one? Was it
Yeah, UTRGV, a guy from my home, from out of your area, his assistant there, Marcus Coleman.
Well, y'all, I'm in at church. But
do y'all think that do you think, hey, I didn't mean to, I'm not taking off topic. Do y'all think that someone one of these big schools gonna throw the bag at Jonathan Hernandez, the coach, the baseball coach at Bethune-Cookman, because he's beating that level?
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's quality. He's quality.
I don't want to take you off topic. Yeah.
So they did lose to UTRGV by 1 possession. They lost to them by 6. They lost to Rice by 21. That was the other team that they lost
Rice.
to.
They sure did play Rice. Yeah.
They had.
Oh.
Let's see.
I watched Rice play the team. I wasn't impressed with him. Yeah.
Yeah, the one Alabama State was a 1 possession loss. UTRGV was a 1 possession loss. And South Carolina State was a 1 possession loss. But they had 1 possession wins also against Jackson State. Against
Alcorn.
That was close.
I thought
that was a 1-point game. And Northwestern State. And Texas Southern. They beat Texas Southern 22-21.
I watched that game.
Yeah, I did too. I watched that game when it happened. Yeah, that was a class.
They own Grambling. They beat them resoundingly. They beat Southern resoundingly. Of course, Lincoln
Alabama
University, California.
Pine Bluff, Mississippi Valley.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that back end of their schedule. I'll be honest with you, the back end of the schedule after they lost to Alabama State kind of gave them a little bit more confidence, and especially against Pine Bluff and Valley. But I wouldn't put them at number 2. I think I wouldn't put them at number 2. I would have flip-flopped. This is just me. I'd have flipped. I'd have put Alabama State at number 2. Just because they won out. They won out the rest of the games in the season. And of course, like I said, the last game of the season for Prairie View, they lost. They lost in the Celebration Bowl. They lost the big one. So I will put Alabama State at number 2. I'll bring Prairie View at number 3. I will have Jackson State at number 4. I will keep Jackson State at number 4 only because let's just say if we would have won against Prairie View, I would have moved us up to number 2. Because I feel like the matchup between Jackson State and South Carolina State would have been a evenly but better matchup team wise. because I didn't see the type of defense. I mean, we've seen the defense that Prairie View had, but we also seen the type of coaching that Prairie points. You do not let your foot off the gas.
No,
you don't.
Not with South Carolina State.
No, you don't let up for nobody. And I think
Kenneth Berry
yeah,
is that kind of coach.
Yeah, but knocking out knocking out the QB, the starting QB, and then putting the backup in made
Oh
a
yeah,
whole
they put that guy in.
made a difference
Was that
change right there.
wasn't they Stubblefield?
They brought
Yeah.
Stubblefield.
Yeah.
Oh man, his Joker just caught fire in that Celebration Bowl.
But he
So
had
they took,
done that
what's-
before. The thing you got to remember
Yeah.
about Stubblefield, he had done that before. That wasn't new for him. And he was
Yeah.
very experienced.
Yeah,
Really, to be
I could
honest
tell.
with you, when he came in, they got better at quarterback.
Yeah,
They
they did get better at quarterback.
Yeah, they got better because that other kid was confused. He was
Yeah.
totally
That was,
confused.
So
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was turned around.
But I also had some questions why Howard is on the board, was on his ranking, because to me, even James comes back as all-purpose, as an all-purpose back. But what do you bring in as a quarterback? Who is going to be the quarterback?
According to the media, this guy had such an outstanding recruiting in February. They supposedly the guy you called Ted White, he did a really good
Ted
job
White,
bringing in
from
some.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they said he brought in some really good players in his first recruiting class. So that's why a lot of people are hyping him, but I got to see them first.
Glen Oaks High School.
Yeah, I got to see him. I'll see him, like Lord willing, at 0 week when they play Alabama A&M here. So I'll be able to talk about them. But I got to see him. Yeah, I got to see him. But now going back to your point, Doc, about that South Carolina State. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Now y'all need to write this down. The top 3 teams in HBCU football are all in the SWAC, and it's Jackson, Prairie View, and Alabama State. South Carolina State can't beat none of that 3 right there. They can't beat them. You'll see. You'll see. But the top 3 teams in HBCU football are all in the SWAC.
I give you that.
Yeah, they all in the SWAC.
Well, you know what, Jared? I could put Jackson State at number 3, just because we are bringing back a lot. We are bringing back a lot of players.
That's what I was about to ask you. Who's coming back?
I mean, as far as the defensive line goes, we got to replace the whole defensive line.
I know there's a lot of guys.
But you've shown the ability to do that. You've shown that.
Yeah, well, we got the ability to. Yeah, we've shown that we can replace it and play at a high level.
Yeah.
We will get better at linebacker, and then the back end will be the only issue that I would probably have. But offensively, we bring back what? You bring back what? 8 players that had significant playing time last season. You only lose 2 players off your offensive line. You regain your all conference left tackle in Quay Davis. You add much depth when it comes to the offensive line, and he's at Syracuse, but you still have a loaded backfield. We still got a loaded backfield, and we still got receivers. We got receivers that didn't even play majority of the season last year that are coming back. And
who's
then
at Syracuse?
The main thing is the signal caller.
Okay.
We bring back Jared Lockhart, who's he has.
I remember him.
Yeah.
game. You know, he has finished games under his belt. So, but I wouldn't put Howard in this thing. I would. He didn't even have Delaware State up in here either on his rankings either. But it's his rankings. I ain't gonna, I ain't bashing it. I just letting him know, like, hey, there are some you missing some folks up in here, or we need to omit some
Delaware
folks.
State lost
But
a lot of people. Did they lose a lot of people?
They did lose a lot of people. I think they lost a couple of people, but yeah, but I think they reload. I think they reload just because. I mean,
yeah, they got a good coaching staff up there at Delaware State. They got a good staff.
Right.
Yeah, they do. He brought that guy Clark with him from California. Yeah.
And they got that offensive coordinator who I think is going to eventually be a head coach.
Yeah,
that,
Nemo.
Nemo Washington.
Yeah, that guy's good, man. That guy's good.
Bringing in. So you switch out Clinton Portis and you bring in Steve Broussard.
Yeah, I remember Steve was Colorado. Where did he go to school?
Steve Broussard went to Washington State.
Washington State.
Played with the Falcons.
He played for the Falcons.
Yeah, played with the Falcons.
Yeah, I remember Broussard.
Yeah, I remember him too. Running back.
Yeah, that's right. Played for the Falcons. He played for Jerry Glanville.
Sure did. I remember Broussard.
Oh, yeah. He played with your homeboy, Doc, a boy named Darian Connor.
Darian Connor, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Darian Connor.
They were all, I think they were all drafted the same year.
Andre Rison?
Yeah, Andre Rison, yeah.
Yeah, the same guy that got hogged down by Big Larry Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that team that all that black. That's when they went to black and all that. They Hammer hanging around the team, talking about too legit to quit.
Hammer, yeah.
He and Evander Holyfield hanging around the team.
I would have Grambling. I would put Grambling in this ranking too, based off what Mickey has been doing. This is his third year. He got his extension.
Yeah, he did.
He should be building on to what they don't have. The only issue is the quarterback situation.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're right. That's all. That's the big issue. Quarterback.
Yeah,
but they supposedly got a kid from what was it, Syracuse? A big kid to come in and play that quarterback position. I think he's from Syracuse.
Who's the offensive coordinator at Grambling now?
I don't know.
He had North Carolina Central at number. I know he had North Carolina Central at number 5. The deal with Central is we don't know who's going to be behind, who's going to be under center and who's going to be the running back. We knew for the last 4 years is either going to be Davius Richard and Jamari Taylor or Walker Harris and Chris Mosley.
Harris.
We don't even know who's going to be the quarterback and who's going to be getting the ball from him.
But let me tell you, they're gonna be in it because that guy's a great coach up there at Central, man.
Oh, that guy, Trey Oliver.
Yeah, man, Trey Oliver.
I met him when he was at Grambling.
Yeah. So they're gonna be in the thick of things, like you say. You're right. There's a lot of unknowns offensively. Plus, they got a new offensive coordinator. The guy came from Alabama State because their offensive coordinator went to Tennessee State. So,
so they got Chris. They got Chris Barnett.
He's Barnett? At Central. He's the offense coordinator.
Yeah, I remember Chris Barnett.
Yeah.
He used to be at A&T at one time.
Right. He was at A&T. He was at Winston-Salem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good. Chris is good, man. Chris is real good.
Okay. Because I know Tony Holt is now at Alabama State.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Tony's going to do well, man.
Oh, yeah. I remember he was a high school coach at Warren Easton in New Orleans. He had some great teams.
Yeah,
I remember when Neville beat him for the state. Cavante Turpin in 2014, Doc, when they beat Warren Easton. That's when I first heard of Tony Hull.
Yeah, he's gonna do well at Alabama State, man. He's definitely gonna help him with the recruiting because
they kept you on you stay on your toes playing Warren Easton. They lost state to Neville, but man, they kept Neville on their toes. Neville had to really work to win that ball game in the Superdome.
Now Alcorn been on this list. I would take Alcorn been on the list because you get year one with Jalen Tolbert as QB. Now, how does it look with him under center in year two?
If he can be consistent in the vertical game, he can be really good, man. Now he can. I mean, he's dual threat as far as his legs. All that's great. Yeah, I just want to see him be consistent with the vertical game.
And then also, Coach Thomas going to have to replace. I think he's going to have to replace both of the running backs because Reggie Davis and Ja'Cory Sewell, they're both gone.
I watched both of them when we went over to the game last season. My parents and I went over there when they played Grambling, and man, they were smoking in that game. I got a chance to talk to Cedric Thomas after the game, and talk to him and the guy he's now at Valley, Leroy Frederick. I got a chance to talk to both of them, and because I was surprised, but Coach Thomas saw me. He knew who I was. He said man, he remembered me from what he watched this broadcast right here. He had seen me on that. That's when North Carolina Central played South Carolina State. He said he had seen me on that. So okay, you don't know who's watching.
Yeah. But I think he got to replace his running backs. He got to replace his top tackler in Stamarian Edwards.
Now, one thing about him, Doc, defense is not, long as Thomas is there, defense is not going to be their problem. They're going to play good defense because he's defensive minded. Their problem has always been offense coordinator and quarterback. That's been Alcorn's problem for a while. The offense coordination and the quarterback position.
Having Alabama A&M on this list, I don't know. I would have to take them off, and you know what? Y'all can beat me up. Y'all can curse me out, whatever y'all gonna say. But I'll put Tennessee State at number 9 in my poll.
Tennessee State. Yeah. I think Barlow's gonna have an improved team.
That's what I say. I think Reggie's gonna have a very improved team. Of course, it is going to be who's going to be the starting quarterback for Big Blue, and how will the offense, how will the players adjust to Leone's play calling, his offense.
Yeah, Leone is going to Tennessee State. Yeah, Matt Leone.
But now, Doc, listen, Quad Brown is back at Alabama, and that's going to help them a lot, man. That's going to help them a lot.
It might it could help them, but at the same time, it could hurt them too because he can't even finish a whole season without getting hurt.
Yeah, if he finishes it the whole season, because that's a lot of experience. He's really good with the big play. He's really good at throwing the ball deep. I think now historically with Sam Shade, his second year, that's when his teams take off. If you look at him when he was at Miles, his first year, was down. Second year, that's when you start seeing the greatness. That's what I'm looking at. Will he follow that and be great this year? Because they're deep. They really didn't have no defense last year.
And you would know him being a defensive person that that they would have a great defense, coming from Alabama and all these other places. Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a whole lot better with Alabama A&M, especially if he get the players he wanted, because he got a great coaching staff up there. Like I said, Alabama A&M got money, they got commitment, they got a president that wants them to win, they got outstanding AD.
He's done a great job.
They got everything in place. They got everything in place.
Paul Bryant. He and Dr. Paul Bryant, they work well together. I got to know him when he was at Grambling.
I think it. You know what? I think Alabama A&M is going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. Now I don't think they're going to be better than Alabama State. No, I don't think that. But I do think they're going to come up. I don't think you'll see what you saw last year.
Right.
You think it's an improved team?
Yeah, they'll be improved. They'll be improved because, like I said, usually his second year, he's much better.
Getting them to jail.
So we shall see. I don't know, but like I said, that it's just what we. I think it's just what we've known and what we seen with Alabama A&M is that they kind of get going, they kind of get started early, and then they get it to that midpoint, and then after that they just kind of fizzle out.
Who was that?
Alabama A&M.
Yeah, they played a lot of freshmen last year. I mean, you could tell they were totally inexperienced. I saw some people. One of them was Prairie View, man. Prairie View beat the dog shit out of them last year. They did. I saw it on the
They did.
They beat the dog shit out of them, man.
Boy.
Yeah, they did. And then I would you know what? I would put an honorable mention because I'm be honest with you. FAMU at number 10, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna kick them down. Kick them while they down. Being in number 10, of course, they got a new coach in Quinn Gray. They got a new pretty much offense scheme. The whole story is about the APR.
Yeah, I watched the 20 quarterback club meeting. That's what it was about. John Davis, athletic director at FAMU, was discussing that with them about the APR. That was one of the discussions this past Wednesday. And Quinn Gray was there as well. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm looking at what my man put in the chat. Yeah, that's true. Well, it's only two teams because they said one got a waiver. We talking about Alabama A&M got a waiver.
Alabama A&M got a waiver. Yeah, they got a waiver.
Valley
and FAMU. It's
Valley and FAMU.
Valley and FAMU.
But if Alabama A&M have another,
A&M got an appeal.
Yeah, they got an appeal, but they have another. But they get another number that low like that again. Yeah, they are out for contention for the next year.
That portal is kind of getting.
It's kind of hard with
those numbers.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard with FAMU because at the end of the day, FAMU basically trying to play spoiler. They're trying to ruin everybody. They're going to try to ruin everybody's season because they can't go nowhere.
Yeah. I can. Yeah. The main thing with A&M is they got to get those people in there for the offensive line primarily, and then the defensive line. If they can get that, they can be formidable because you got an offensive-minded coach. He's bringing his quarterback. But the main thing is this spring they only had 6 offensive linemen. You can't do that. They got to add at least 10. They got to add at least 10 offensive linemen.
Now I'm gonna say it like this for my honorable mention. My honorable mention in my ranking would probably be Texas Southern.
Who's at Texas Southern now? Yeah. Yeah, I know Dishman's still coaching. I was wondering who the players are now because
Well, they should have. I know they were looking for. They did get a quarterback. They got Cam McCoy from Southern. I would put Southern now, depending on how they do, how he does in his first year. I put Southern as my honorable mention also.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about Southern too, man. With the people that he's brought in, that coaching staff, the direction that they're going. Yeah, I'm feeling high on Southern too, man. I am.
So I'll put him as my honorable mention, and my last one will be Morgan State. Morgan State got to show me. They got to show me something. They got to show me they can actually play some offensive football.
Yeah, they've been a
because I
defensive
think
team.
that's what they want to kind of. Yeah. But
Doc, I'm gonna be
Superman ain't there no more.
Hey, I was shocked they didn't get rid of Coach Wilson, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought they was gonna get rid of him. I did.
Yeah, it was one of them things. I feel like
He's been there how many years?
Some sort of change.
How many years has he been there? I remember he left Bowie State. He took that job there after coaching at Bowie State.
This will be his 5th year, 4th year.
Yeah, he's been there 4 years. 5th year. Yeah, it'll be his 5th year.
5th year. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, we can't. No, it's 22, 23, 24, 25. Because he was at Bowie State in 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he took Bowie State to the playoffs.
Yeah, more than once, right?
Yeah. How many times did he take him?
Yeah. So this is 5th year. This be his 5th year.
Yeah, they've been patient now. Because usually these people don't give you no 5 years.
Yeah. And see, their president, he wanted to he's trying to make Bowie State be this the program. You know, you discussed it, Mr. Ford. He's trying to build. He want to boost the athletic program to be. He want to try and boost the athletic program.
Yeah, aren't they opening up a medical school?
Yeah, I remember talking about that. Yeah, and I'm not surprised.
Them and Xavier is supposed to be opening up medical schools.
Yeah, Xavier. I knew Xavier down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
They've never had an outstanding quarterback since he's been there. They've never had a big-time quarterback to me.
Right. That's the issue that I.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's been the issue
that we all have. Like
quarterback.
You gonna step up that thing, but your QB situation, and if you don't handle up your QB situation, your running back gonna be running for.
Yeah, they're gonna pack the box for. They're gonna bring 8 line up on that line of scrimmage because they ain't gonna respect you as a passer. I've never been impressed with their offense. Never.
So
they play super defense.
So
what's that guy's name? Well, or whatever his name. That guy
play super defense.
They play super defense. But their offense is
what's his name? So what's that guy's
name? Yeah. Yes, him. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
When you think about it, when you look at it, you think about it. There are some things that, like I said, I would tweak on it, with the rankings. And then too, since this would be our first year adding Division II teams in the mix with our rankings, I would put in. I would add in like Virginia State from the CIAA in the ranking. I would add in Union. I'll also add in. Benedict had a great season this year in Division II.
Yeah.
I would put Albany State in there, but can't do it because the whole team
they gone. They hit the portal. Yeah, they go to FAMU.
Yeah, the quarterback is all down there.
So I'm looking at it. I would have to put Kentucky State in there. I want to see if they can repeat. I want to see if they can repeat this season of what they brought last season because they went to the playoffs also.
They did. Yeah, Huggins, Felton Huggins Jr.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, his dad, his father, and my
Greenville
father were
State.
roommates at Grambling.
Basically, Johnson C. Smith. I cannot exclude them.
Oh yeah, Flowers, Maurice Flowers.
Well, Coach Flowers. So let's get on this. Mr. Ford. Who do you think is next in line to join either the SWAC or the MEAC as a coach?
You just called his name out. Did you say Maurice Flowers?
Yeah, just said Maurice Flowers.
Yeah, Maurice Flowers.
I could see it.
I thought, well, at one time I thought Howard might snatch him up. But, I mean, they wouldn't have got Ted, you know, which I don't have no problem with that. But, yeah, Maurice Flowers.
And he probably don't want to be messing with, with Howard. They have this thing, just standards trying to get players in there, and he probably don't want to fight that. I can see Ted White doing that.
Yeah, well, that's his thing.
Yeah, I think Ted White used to it.
The other guy is the guy at Edward Waters. That guy's
Brian Jenkins.
Yeah, that guy's proven. Yeah,
he used to be a Bethune-Cookman.
He's proven, man. Yeah. Yeah, if Woody can't get it done, then I would bring Jenkins back.
Who do you think is on the hot seat for this season in the SWAC and in the MEAC? Name me one coach from each conference.
Well, what Mr. Ford just said.
Cedric is definitely. Cedric got to win big this year. Cedric got to win down at Alcorn because of the success of the last 4 or 5 years at Jackson. Them people at Alcorn, they ain't gonna be happy.
They're not gonna take that well.
Yeah, that Jackson winning like that, and then Alcorn's not winning. So he's definitely one.
Boy.
I think if Woody doesn't have a winning season this year, it's gonna be really hot.
I think so
said
too.
In the MEAC, let's see.
Damon Wilson, who we've just been talking about.
Damon Wilson.
We just said Damon Wilson.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm surprised he made it to year 5. I am. I really am. I'm surprised.
And MEAC, it's not many
well,
teams.
The other thing is too, see, now, the problem with Texas Southern is they down there on the interim AD. Then you come in with, if you do come in with an AD, he gonna put Chris Dishman on the clock because he didn't bring Chris Dishman there. So
I heard that they already got that. They made a permanent. They got a permanent AD now.
Okay, who is it?
I heard after Granger.
I think it's the lady that's the AD now.
Oh, the interim. The interim is AD.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
So
that's going to be added pressure at Texas Southern. The fact that they're doing all that stuff at Prairie View, and they're defending the SWAC champion. That's going to be added pressure on Chris Dishman now. That's going to be added pressure.
Do we think Michael Vick will be on the hot seat in year 2 at Norfolk State?
No, they put too much money with him. No, man, they put too much money out there. No, they're gonna be patient with him now.
Yeah, that's Norfolk State. They don't have much football, man. That's basketball.
To me, Norfolk State is a sleeping giant. Because if you ask me, I think Norfolk State should be winning in every sport. They're a sleeping giant. I don't know if Vic needs to reshuffle that coaching staff, or does he need to look for a higher caliber player, or is it both of them? Or, it's something's got to change up there. Now, with me, I always think you start with the coaches. Okay, I would have looked at that last year's season. If you weren't producing as a position coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, I'd make a change. And then after they get the coaching staff right, My thing is, you can't recruit the same players as Elizabeth City. You can't recruit the same players as Fayetteville State. You want the players from the ACC that's looking for playing time, or you want the players from a group of 5 that's looking for playing time. Those are the kinds of kids they got to bring to Norfolk. Norfolk ain't got no business recruiting against Johnson C. Smith. They got to get a high caliber player in Norfolk. Yeah. You got to go get them kids.
Virginia, his alma mater, Virginia
Tech, Maryland, Rutgers, Temple, them kind of players.
Yeah.
You ain't getting playing time and you want an opportunity to play, come to Norfolk. That's what Mike and them got to do. He can't be recruiting against no damn Johnson C. Smith now.
Mr. Ford, you sound like Suge Knight said, "Hey, come to death row." That's what you sound.
Yeah, man.
Like, come to Norfolk.
Yeah. Go up there to Virginia Tech, all them boys called James Franklin is going to be going after the top kids on the East Coast. And then he's going to be looking nationally. And then that means that some of them kids he don't want, bring them to Norfolk. Bring them kids to Norfolk State, especially them offensive and defensive linemen. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Franklin, anybody at Penn State will tell you, no, he didn't win them big games. But one thing he did, he brought pro-caliber players to Penn State.
He sure did.
Yeah. So
That's
what he don't want up there that he want to throw out, listen, bring him to Norfolk.
Hey, I
was wondering that many teams.
On the independent side, we got Van Malone. I'm trying to get him on here because Malone for.
Oh yeah, you talking about Hampton?
Hampton, yeah, I remember Van Malone, University of Texas.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh wow!
Yeah, he played at. I remember when he played at Texas.
Yeah, I remember him too. Yeah,
he played
I think he's defensive mind. He's gonna be defensive mind.
Oh yeah, that's what he was. He was a defensive.
He played on the Acres.
No, not Fred Akers. He played under. He played on John, not Mackovic.
John Mackovic.
I think that he did play under. He played on Mackovic. Yeah, he played on John Mackovic. That's who he played under. Because what happened? David McWilliams was already gone. John Mackovic was head coach.
Yeah, I remember
time in Texas.
Yeah,
he used to coach Illinois.
And he played. He coached under Tom Landry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, see, Akers were already. All those guys that was gone. That was after Mackovic came after
took over after the legend. Fred took over after Darryl Royer. That's when Fred took over.
Yeah, he coached Earl Campbell.
He did play under Mackovic. He was okay. He's from Houston. That's the reason why he recruiting.
Yeah, I remember he played under Mackovic.
Texas this past week.
Because
not past weekend, but
when I was in high school. That was in 1992 when that was his first season. I know I was in high school then when Mackovic. That's when Malone was playing at Texas during that time.
Yeah, the little quarterback was named James Brown, wasn't it?
James Brown, from Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah. Oh no, James Brown was later. I think James Brown
came in. He was later.
Yeah, James Brown came in like 90.
He was in the late 90s, mid.
Oh,
mid to late 90s.
He was mid 90s. Peter Gardere was the quarterback at the time.
Yeah, I remember James Brown from Beaumont. Went to Westbrook.
Peter Gardere was the quarterback at the time.
Peter Gardere was quarterback during that time when Malone was there. Yeah, I remember Peter Gardere.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I'm about to let you know. I got to deal with them kids tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.
It's winding down.
Friday.
Graduations and everything else.
Yeah, great. Listen, they've been graduating. Some was this weekend. I heard some will be next weekend. So I know the AD Center is this weekend. Yeah, it was Marsh Brown this weekend, Spellman, Morehouse, and I think Clark's tomorrow.
I saw Chris
Yeah,
Paul
he
this
was the
morning doing
commencement
Morehouse.
speaker, right? When he the
Yeah, he was
commencement?
commencement speaker.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got a chance to watch him before going to
yeah.
church.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, y'all have a good night now.
All right, you take care. Have a
Okay.
great week.
When are you coming back, Doc?
Probably Wednesday.
I'll be listening. I'll be listening.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm off
Mr. Ford.
Wednesday,
You
so
take
I'll
care.
be back on Wednesday.
Okay, have a good night.
All right, you take care. All right.
So yeah, let's see. We got trying to figure out some more. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. That seat might get a little bit warm in East Greensboro. Over in North at A&T. I think that seat might get a little bit.
You might, yeah, because those people they don't play in Greensboro, man. I've been there one time, and I went to their homecoming in 2019, and they serious about that stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Other than that, I will be back on Wednesday. I'm not gonna do anything tomorrow. You'll see me on Fat Mouth Sports on Tuesday.
Yeah, you can be with
Wednesday
Troy and all
I'll
them.
be be with Troy and everybody. Wednesday be over here because Wednesday is the start of the tournament. I can't stream none of that stuff because it's owned and operated by the SWAC.
Hey Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something that happened. This is baseball 101 just happened in the Louisiana High School Athletic Association state baseball championship game. Man, this past Friday, Catholic High School of Baton Rouge played Brother Martin of New Orleans. They both are all male Catholic schools. Man, they show you baseball 101. The guy was going. It was a walk. What happened? It was a walk off. If the base was low, it was a walk off to win the championship. And what happened? What happened? The young man from Catholic, instead of touching first base, he gonna go out there celebrating with his teammates. The coaches had to, hey, get back. Hey, you had to go touch first base. And what happened? They put him out there, and it was in the 9th inning. That game didn't end until the 15th inning. Catholic High finally won it. They won it 3-2. Man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's 3-2.
Oh wow.
He went 15 innings from the 9th. He instead of touching the first base to win the ball game, because it was a walk-off, and he gonna go out there celebrating with his teammates, and what happened? Brother Martin did again, just threw it to the first base, and that put that put him out. That went the extra innings until the 15th inning. Catholic High, that's Warwick Dunn's alma mater. Brother Martin, that's where E-Rob went to school, Alabama State's head coach.
Right.
Brother Martin and Gentili.
Man, look. I want to say shout out to this young man.
To give you that comedy.
I want to say shout out to this young man, Dylan Mitchell, who's nothing but a sophomore at C.E. King down in Sheldon, near Houston, Texas. And the young man ran a sub-10 in the 100-meter. He's only a sophomore in high school.
That's the one that says, is that that meet at Southern, the SWAC meet?
No, this is high school. This is this was regional here in Texas.
Oh, high school is done. Okay, it's in Texas. I'm talking about high school. Okay.
Yeah. He went to he goes to C.E. King in Sheldon.
King. Yeah, Houston.
Sheldon, Texas. Yeah. Ran a 9.92.
Man.
Ran a 9.92.
Gosh.
I just had to put that out there.
You see who the judge was in the SWAC track meet? Wild Wayne Cartwright.
Oh, Wayne was out there?
Yeah, he's a track judge.
He's a track judge.
Yeah, he was down in Baton Rouge. I saw a photo of him.
Okay.
Yeah, he went
Let's
and
see
fired
what
a
else.
gun
Yeah,
and
but they
everything else.
yeah, and young man as a sophomore in high school. Kelly, Miss Keisha Kelly. First and foremost, I want to give a congratulations for 10 years of owning and operating Black college experience. And that's her baby. That's her joy, pride and joy. And it's 10 more years for you. She been busy. She been busy doing hella work. Not just for sports, but in the community, also in the city of Atlanta. So, shout out to Keisha Kelly. I am about to go ahead and we about to go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's head on over to HBCU Nightly and see what they got to say.
Oh, they're back on. I didn't know HBCU Nightly
see
was
what we
back
got. It's on now. Yeah. They came back on tonight. But I'm glad to be back on StreamYard.
And StreamYard is a lot.
I
Yeah,
can't
it's better
deal
than the other
with
one.
getting kicked out on. But other than that, man, we about to roll up out of here. I appreciate
All
you
right, man.
joining me again. Always, Chuck.
All right, I'm about to go check
We'll
on
be
my
back on
folks
here
here
Wednesday.
on their anniversary. I go check on them, see how things are going with them. And yeah, they're great to 51 years. I just can't imagine that. And shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out. Oh yeah, shout out to your parents, man, for real.
Yes. Yeah, they celebrated at church. Their mom, dad surprised them. Family and friends came to town. Yeah. Yeah, dad surprised.
I'm
Family
pretty
and friends.
much gonna. But other than that, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Hug your loved ones and love on your loved ones as always. We'll be back on here on Wednesday evening at 7. And as always, y'all be peace.
All right.